Hello there fellow modelers and welcome to Genesis Models. Today we're going to be doing a rapid video build of the F-86D dog Sabre. This is by Revell in 1/48 scale. So let's get this open. You'll notice it's got pretty good surface detail on this kit. You do get some really good detail in the cockpit as well as a cool pilot as well, and it does fit rather well. We're going to get started with Tamiya extra thin cement, the quick setting one. I like to use this for all our little bits of gluing of our cockpit and majority of any kind of building in the modeling. And as you can see, you know, there's quite a lot of lovely detail inside the cockpit area, but you will notice there's a bit of an ejector pin mark here and there. So with a nice coarse sanding stick and working our way down the grits from coarse, medium, fine to fine, we can get those ejector pin marks completely removed and looking nice and just like the rest of the plastic. Now we do have Tamiya cement. Now this is the thicker stuff. This is good for doing things like this with the air intakes, right? We're just really sort of getting a lot of thick glue that doesn't evaporate quickly, and we're just trying to ooze it, right? Trying to get that plastic to ooze out, and then we're using the normal Tamiya extra thin cement, and what we can basically do is seal that up and not have any gaps inside. Now we're going to get some pellets out here, basically some lead, because we need to put, I think it was a 20-gram weight in the front, but as you can see it doesn't quite fit. So I'm just going to make a very quick, get a Coke can out. We're going to cut this so as we've got a nice sort of templates, a funnel in a sense, so as we can basically melt this lead into the right shape. So really quick, we don't want to be spending a lot of time. It doesn't have to look pretty, right? And we're just making a very quick handle here just so we can hold it, put all our lead inside there, and you know, just be careful, you know, nice sort of kitchen blowtorch here where we can just heat that up. And as you can see, it melts really quick. Let that sort of cool down, and you just want to peel that out. Again, just be very careful because those Coke cans can be sharp. And as you can see, we can get all that into one place. Now do double check and make sure you've still got the same 20 grams of weight, because you know you can lose a bit of the weight when melting it. And I'm just using some microcrystal clear to glue that into place. I'm just test fitting it now, making sure nothing gets in the way. So that was just a quick dry fit there. Now a bit of Gauzy agent just here, just to do the dials on our cockpit. You know, I've just done a basic paint job on the cockpit here, but you know, Gauzy agent's good for all those dials, just to bring that out as well. We can use microcrystal clear for that big sort of hole there, just to really make that look nice and crystal clear. And there's the cockpit, just nicely quickly done, very sort of basic. And again, back to the normal Tamiya cement, right? This stuff doesn't evaporate quickly, so when you kind of can't get access to it, when you bring these two halves together, it's good to use that glue in those areas. And then we're just bringing the two halves together. Again, it's a pretty good fit with this kit, and we're just going to clamp this all down and around first, making sure we've got no steps, using our nail, you know, trying to get rid of the gaps as much as possible, use pegs, whatever. Then I'll come in with the Tamiya extra thin cement, the quick setting one, and we just glue all around the sides. It just makes things a lot easier and cleaner. Now when it comes to drilling, I like to drill through, use my nail to kind of get that flash, so to speak, and then I drill the opposite side, and you get a really good finish on doing any kind of drilling that way. The wing section, that went together pretty well. A little bit of a gap here and there, but that just required, you know, a bit of sanding on the inside with a coarse sanding stick, and then you can just close those gaps up pretty easy. So apart from that, it was pretty a pretty good fit. And again, we're coming in with some pegs and the Tamiya extra thin cement, and just work our way around the model. Now Revell does this thing of putting their logo on there, so we need to sand that back, going down the grits and stuff, just to get rid of that logo on there. Now piece 18 isn't in the instructions, so I thought I'd show you where it goes. Now accessibility, you want to kind of sort of do your sanding and getting all your or your gaps sort of sanded away before you kind of glue it all together. It just gives accessibility a bit better. Now green putty is a good one for getting rid of those gaps, just kind of work it in there. And Mr. Surface is good for those micro gaps, but you can also kind of paint it on top of green putty, which I do like to do just to make sure you get those micro gaps as well. There is also some sink marks at the back there, so I'm just taking care of them as well. Mr. Tool Cleaner is great for cleaning all your brushes and your tools after using fillers and whatnot. All good for the next time you need to use them. And then the sanding stage, I do like to use a coarse sanding stick just to get the big rough bits of the filler, not really getting onto the plastic, just kind of getting that filler sanded back a bit. Then you can come in with curved sanding sticks, going down the grits to medium, fine and fine, as you can see here. Just get in what you've sanded looking like the rest of the plastic. A toothbrush is a good one just to sort of get any dust and debris out of any recessed panel lines, because they will fill in once you spray on top. Now doing some scribing, I like to use a razor saw first, right, because it's a nice steady straight cut, and as you can see I'm rotating the model rather than actually sawing. That just gives you a really good straight cut to do it freehand. It's not the best finish, which is why I'm coming in with a P cutter by Tamiya. Again, same process of rotating that model, right, and you know, you get a nicer, neater cut with the P cutter. When it comes to rivets, RB Productions do a really cool tool, rivet maker tool. I kind of close one eye and sort of look at the recessed panel line and follow that recessed panel line as closely and as good as I can, and always be careful at the beginning, at the end. Now it's going to feel a little bit rough after you've done it, so a very light sanding, light pressure, and you can sort of see your work after you've done a bit of sanding, and that just kind of gets rid of that roughness after doing rivets. And again, toothbrush just to clean up all that sanding dust. I like to use a sewing needle for those sort of areas where there's only a couple of rivets to put in there, and I like to do them in a certain pattern so you get everything sort of even, and not have, like, you know, gaps, too much of a gap in one area and it being a small gap in the other. If you kind of follow this pattern like so, you can get everything all nice and even. We do have a gap when we bring the wing sections to the fuselage, and it just needs a little bit of pressure, right? So a bit of masking tape can help here, where we kind of like use it to put that pressure on there to remove that gap. As you can see, I mean, it's not perfect, but it removes it enough to kind of make less work for us, and a bit of Tamiya X Thin Cement, the quick setting one, should sort that out. Now with the nose section, good old elastic bands to apply. Again, that pressure, I do like to use anything you can find, really, pencils, whatever, just to kind of remove the actual elastic band from where you're going to glue, because if you get glue on the elastic band, it will spread and leave a nasty mark. Bit of gappage going on there, just a bit of test fitting, and then a bit of green putty, good one to do. Now plastic putty technique, really good technique for getting these gaps, right, these little gaps that you see here and there. It's so quick and easy because you just inject it, and while it's still wet you just wipe that up. You might have to do a second application, but it really does take care of a lot of work, very quick, very easy. Now we're going to come in with some XF1 by Tamiya and some homebrew thinners and mix that up. Right, we're just going to now spray this on all the work we've done. Right, it's a lot easier to see what work that you've done, what needs to be doing when you put some paint on there. You can see if there's any gaps. You can even use sanding sticks as well, where you actually sand away at the area, and it will give you more of an indication of what work still needs to be done. As you can see, there's some paint left in what looks like a gap there, so maybe a little bit of sanding could remove that, but as you can see, after a second go, there's still a bit of a gap. So Mr. Surface is going to be a good one for this, because we're only talking micro gaps, so we just kind of paint that all on that work and get that all sorted. It's a lot better than going into the primer stage and going, oh no, you know, you've got all this work still to be done. It's best to kind of do it at this stage. So a good little spray of paint really does help. Now going on to the canopy just here, just cleaning it up. Right, you want the canopies to be as clean as possible when doing what I'm going to do here, which is using use the agent and dipping. I don't normally like to do it, but I do like to show you guys now and then, just using an airbrush just to make sure there's no debris or anything like that, and we just dip this in very slowly and dip it back out. Using a kitchen paper towel, we can just try and get rid of as much of the excess use the agent as possible, and then lay it down carefully, and we want to cover this up so it doesn't get any hairs or dust go on top of it. And there you go, it does come out very nice and shiny, but you know, a little hair here and there and you're in a bit of trouble. So we're just going to mask this up now. I'm going to show you, like, it's good safety tip here to use pliers to remove and reapply your blades. And then we can just sort of use a nail to go round the rim just to give us a bit of a guide to follow with our blade. It's good to have a bit of a light or a torch or something on the opposite side to guide you, and you can make your own canopy mask quite easily with practice, of course. And then we're just cleaning before we apply this to the model. Now the front canopy, I know it's a bit risky, but I always like to use Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. On the rear I like to use microcrystal clear, so if I do need to remove it, which in this case I do because I want it to be open canopy, so I'm just putting little blobs, right, because I want to remove this later on down the line, so very lightly glued into place. Now we're going to prime this because we're doing natural metal finish. We're going L-Clads to black, right, really quick, easy, slap on that primer. And you know, again, Mr. Tool Cleaner is a good one for cleaning out your airbrushes for pretty much anything or any tools. Really good cleaner, I must say, very strong. And you want to basically keep on adding that until you start spraying nice and clear. And so that is it for part 1. Please stay tuned for part 2, which will be coming in a short period of time. But as always, hopefully you have enjoyed this F-86 Sabre by Revell 148 scale. Please check out the Genesis Models website, where you'll find loads more videos and loads more content over there. But as always, until next time, my name is Bobby Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.